Alright, my friends at Brightin sent me this 35mm f1.8 lens for my Sony E-mount camera. They do have a Nikon version available, so let's unbox this together and see what's up, and then I'm gonna walk you through it, what you can do with this lens and what it's all about. Ooh, whoa. Wow. Oh, USB-C. Oh. As you can see, this lens is a high quality lens. It's not a very small type of lens. It's not very compact and stuff like that, but it is built for serious business. This is what I call a real workhorse type of lens. That make any sense, right? It feels really robust. You got all the needed features. You got the AF/MS switch. You got the aperture ring. You got the focus ring, 62mm filter thread, and it just looks fantastic on my trusty old Sony a7 III. I do have to mention though that this is not a lightweight lens, and compared to the other Brightin lens that I have, the 85mm, which is really a fantastic lens as well, both of them are really fantastic in terms of how they feel, how they look, and just the robustness. But that one is also quite, I would say, more on the heavier side of things compared to lighter Sony lenses or even like lenses from Sigma or Viltrox. It feels more like the, I would say, G Master and Sigma Art type of lenses where you feel like more robustness, better quality in terms of like build quality and stuff like that. But next to that, this lens also has, of course, a lens hood, but also on the back end of it is the USB-C input where you can like update the firmware and stuff like that if that is needed. Never done it before, never done it with these lenses, but it's nice to have, I guess. It has a weather sealing gasket as well, which is something that you just need, especially here right now in the Netherlands during this fall season where rain is like, it's coming each and every day, bad weather conditions, stuff like that. But anyways, you know, it got it all protected. It's all good. So in terms of build quality, robustness and stuff like that, it's all really good and taken care of. What about autofocus? You know, so autofocus is really important. And according to Brightin, this one has very minimum focus breathing. Right now I'm filming on the 35mm f1.8, and as you see, like, there's no focus breathing at all, you know. It's really soft focusing and it looks really good. So with that being said, focus breathing is not present. Focusing itself, it goes really fast. There is a little bit of noise, like the autofocus motor noises, but not very, like, it's not like you can hear it while you're recording yourself or anything like that. And I don't have any real worries about it, even on my Sony a7 III, trusty old Sony a7 III, where things work really fast, and even on the Sony a7 IV, a7C and stuff like that, it just works really well without no hesitation. So it's really up there with the Tamron, Sigma, and Sony lenses, where I think those have one of the best autofocus motors, even with Viltrox. Like, I don't know if there are any bad lenses anymore, and this one right here from Brightin may not be the best known brand in the world in terms of lenses, but to me, it's way up there with the big boys. Okay, so let's talk about image quality. And as you see here at f1.8 all the way up to f11 where I shot most of my things, I never go beyond f13. I don't see the reason why, but just for testing purposes, it might be good to do that. I just want to share you what you can do, like in real world experiences, what you can do with it. So in the meantime, you already saw some images and I don't have any complaints, guys. I don't have any real complaints in terms of the image quality for both photo and video, that is. Things are just looking really well. It's just awesome, you know, to have such a nice optical type of lens in your bag and just go out and shoot and just have great images. And there is like very, very minimal chromatic aberrations and color fringing and stuff like that. But in normal life, for normal people that are not photographers, they don't even see that. So you really have to zoom in and then Then you see it a little bit at f1.8, but when you go a little bit above that at f2.2, f2.8, you don't even see that. So that's really cool. So image quality for both photo and video, autofocusing, the performance and everything like that. It's like the only downside I can think of is maybe the weight. Just train your arms, I guess. Just do a little bit of lifting in the gym and then you're good to go. So there is no downside. A lot of positive things about this lens, and I'm so happy that my friends at Brightin has sent me this lens to make a review about it and just show to you guys what it can do. And I'm so happy with it. And this might be my new favorite lens for making these type of videos, but also just to walk around in the city, just travel with it and just have fun with this lens. Because that's, in the end, that's to me very important. Does this lens bring you some type of fun in shooting or making photos or taking photos and videos? And the answer is yes, it does brings a lot of fun with this. Was that proper English? I'm not sure anymore. I'm just too excited for this lens and just having a ball with this lens, having fun with it. And as you can see, the pictures, you can check it out again if you want. Just rewind a little bit. It's good. It's good. f1.8, f11. All is fine if you shoot at f9, right? That's what they say, something like that. I forgot. But anyways, that's it for this video. If you've got any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. Check out the link here in the description as well to check out this lens for yourself. Go ahead and buy it. Contact Brightin. Tell them that I've sent it to you. Like, hey, this guy, Gary, make a lot of good videos about your lenses. What's up? What's the deal? Have fun with it. And I'll see you in the next one. As always, stay safe, stay happy, and good luck.